So the Berenstain Bears think of those in need. Almost all bears discover in a little while that they've outgrown what they've outgrown makes quite a pile. Oh man, that is a pile. Thinking of those in need. The bear family enjoyed the good things in life as much as anyone else. They enjoyed to cook good food and good times. They enjoyed a snug tree house and a comfortable chair before a cracking fire. They enjoyed books and music and toys and games, quilts and cuckoo clocks. But sometimes it seemed, especially to Mama, that perhaps the bears were enjoying too much of a good thing. It was also clear that Mama, as she managed the treehouse, that they had a problem that they came under the heading of too much stuff. Oh, wow.
It had two stuff.
Good. Too much stuff in the closets, too much stuff in the drawers, too much stuff in the basement, and too much stuff in the attic. There was too much stuff everywhere. It all made Mama a little uneasy. It was beginning to be a worry. Oh. Papa thought there was too much stuff problem too, but he was way more annoyed than worried. Annoyed about Fastwheel's car that Brother had left on the stairs, about a squeaky duck that Sister had left in the bathtub. Ah! Falling down the stairs. Squeak! He sits on the... That's funny. But there were too much on Mama's mind than Fastwheel's cars and squeaky ducks. What was beginning to worry her was that they had so much, while others had so little. Oh, wow. You see that? They have all their stuff, and others have little stuff, very few things. And sometimes it happens with a worry when you go to bed. It can turn into a nightmare. So that happened to Mama. Too much stuff, too much stuff. A too much stuff monster was chasing her. One night she dreamed that all the stuff came to life and poured out of every drawer and closet and nook and cranny in the treehouse, chanting, "Too much stuff, too much stuff." That sounds kind of like a nightmare. "What's the matter?" asked Papa when Mama woke up screaming. "It was just a dream, my dear," Mama said. But though it was just a dream, she knew what she had to do. The next morning at breakfast, she made an announcement. "This family," she said, "has altogether too much stuff. It's time to get rid of some of it." "Stuff," said Brother. "What sort of stuff?" "Stuff like dolls with no heads," Mama said, "broken airplane models and puzzles and games that no one plays, and fast wheels cars on the stairs and squeaky ducks in the bathtub," chimed Papa. "Now wait a minute," protested Sister. "That's all our stuff. What about some of your stuff?" "My stuff?" said Papa. "Like what?" "Like our 17 fishing rods," said Brother. "And the zillions of old fishing magazines you have stacked up in the attic," said Sister. "But those are all valuable collectibles," said Papa. Mama groaned. "Look who's groaning," said Papa. "What about those shelves and shelves of old cookbooks you never look at, and those bits of yarn and cloth you're never going to use?" "All right," agreed Mama. "I guess we have a lot of things we don't really need, and that's just my point. What should we do with all of it?"
Give it
Donate it. The bear family thought for a moment. "Hey," said Brother, "let's have a yard sale. Let's make a fortune." "Yeah, great idea," agreed Sister and Papa. But that's not what Mama had in mind. She had been thinking more and more of all those folks who had so little, especially with Christmas coming on. But what could the bear family do? Mama already had a plan in mind. "First," she said, "Papa and the cubs go through all their stuff and make piles. One pile of things are old board games and puzzles, and another was forgotten but still good toys and sporting goods, and another was clothes, furniture, extra cookbooks, and unfinished unused fishing rods." When the bears piled everything in the car, there was hardly enough room for them. "Where are we going?" asked Sister. "First stop," said Mama, "the old bear's home." the old bears' home where the old bears went to live when they needed help taking care of themselves. Nurses and doctors looked after them and made sure they were in good health, but sometimes the older bears got a little lonely and bored. They liked visitors and things to do. But that's part of Mama's plan. When the family arrived at the old bear's home, they handed out their games and puzzles, and older bears sat down to play games and do puzzles with them. At first, brother and sister were a little shy and embarrassed. The older bears were just so old. But after a while, they got over it. The bears in the home weren't that much older than their neighbor, Miss Gris, and she was okay. Soon they were having a fine time, and so were the older bears. They were all so sorry when it came time to leave. The next stop was Beartown Young Cubs Hospital. Brother and sister knew about the hospital. Brother had gone there once when his ankle was x-rayed when they thought it was broken, and sister had come along to watch. The bears dropped their load of used toys. They were welcome. The hospital workers said the toys would be given out at a hospital Christmas party. On their way out, they saw a young bear in a wheelchair with his leg in a big cast. They were glad he had brought the toys. He looked as if he could use some cheering up. Aww. The last stop was the Beartown Bears Who Care store. It was a store that sold things to raise money for needy bears who needed warm clothes and good food. And the store was run by bears who wore uniforms and often played in a band out front of the store. The bears lugged all their old clothes and furniture and stuff into the store. On the way, they stopped to sing a few Christmas carols with the band. There was a big iron pot on the sidewalk for collecting money for the needy. Papa gave sister $1 to put in it. They headed home with their warm feelings about what they had done. As they drove along, they passed the lighted windows of the Beartown department store. They were beautifully decorated for Christmas. There was a window after window of new toys and games, new things for the house, and very last things was fishing poles. But the members of the bear family were so filled with special thoughts about helping others that they hardly noticed the wonderful things in the windows. Except maybe out of the corners of their eyes. The end.